KOA is a lot of fun in its own right. It's got a lot of mini games and a lot of things you can do on a daily basis. But that being said, there are a lot of things that the game itself gets wrong, as well as a lot of things that I personally believe should be adjusted in the game to make it a little bit better. Here is my top 10 list of what I feel should be changed within the KOA game to make it better for everybody to enjoy. Let's go have a look. Hey guys, Mountain here, bringing you another video. In today's video, it's going to be about my personal top 10 things that I would like to see changed within the KOA game itself, with the environment and things like that. This is my personal opinion, my own list. So if you don't agree with it, or you have your own ideas of what you feel should change, feel free to drop a comment down below and I'll read them and get back to them as soon as I possibly can. But that being said, let's go and have a look at what my top 10 list actually entails. So the first thing on my list is making the gap, the curve between free to play and play to win, that gap curve, smaller. What I mean by that is this game has got so many updates constantly on new equipment, on new emblems and things like that, and it's literally every month something new comes out, and it's extremely difficult for a free-to-play player to stay competitive within the KOA game itself. For example, when I joined the alliance I'm in now, BRR, there were a couple of players that were paying players who were on the same level I was, the same stronghold level I was. They were on the same statistic levels that I were and things like that. And now a month has gone past, and in that month, the difference between us has gone from being the same percentage to a minimum of 3,000 to 4,000% per stat increase. My stats are sitting at 6,000 at the moment, 67,000. Let's just have a quick look over here. Not there. That was ridiculous. So my current stats at the moment, let's just have a look here. As I say, sitting between 6 and 7,000. Let's just go down. There we go. 6972, 69, 67, 67, 67, 7377. Now, the player that I'm specifically talking about is sitting on 10k and 11k stats. 1,000% stats makes a huge difference in this game. Now you're talking about 4,000% stat difference. It's such a jump between the two that I literally, at the level I'm on at the moment, am now no longer competitive with people who I started the game with, who are paying. Even those who are not paying astronomical amounts, they are so far ahead of me in terms of statistics and stronghold levels and things like that, that it makes it very difficult to try and keep up, to try and be competitive, as well as, let's be honest, it makes it no longer as much fun as it was before. You can't compete in Netherfall as well as you could. You can't compete in Firelands and things like that and keep up with the people. You can't compete in KVK and things like that because the people are just shooting past you. There's newer kingdoms than mine where people have got better statistics than I have, simply because they have been paying. Now, I understand that this game is a game about transactions, microtransactions. It's a business. They make money. And I fully accept that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the extent to which they are doing it is actually causing a lot of harm to the community. Even paying players are leaving the game because they feel it is too much too fast. If they brought it down a little bit, just a little bit slower, like bring out a new equipment or something every 2 months, that would make it a bit better. It would make it that the paying players are still willing to pay, but the free-to-play players have got a little bit extra time to try and keep up. On top of that, when new equipment comes out, the free-to-play players don't get easy access to it, or generally access to it at all. Let's take, for example, this new Hellsbane armor. Okay, so if we go down to the armory, we can see here the Hellsbane set. I have got one piece of Hellsbane set, and that was lucky because I got it in the free key I got for the Honest Pass. And I have got myself up to 81 of these Hellsbane fragments by doing the Honest Pass as well as the Last Dragon's Chest event, and I was very lucky to get that. But the old Honest Pass allowed you per Honest Pass to get 50 parts of the new item. The new Honest Pass only gives you 36. So that means that even if you do both upgrades in the Honest Pass, the maximum you're going to get from Honest Pass alone is 72 fragments. You got to be lucky to get the rest from a Dragon's Chest event, or the development team is forcing you to purchase again, which means that a free-to-play player will not be getting even one Hellsbane armor set, not for an extremely long time. The rallies currently give you the Empyrean ingots. Now, when I say that they should make it a little bit easier for free-to-play players to obtain the items easily enough, what I mean is that your higher level rallies, your level 39 and 40 rallies, for example, should be offering you those Hellsbane ingots. It's still going to be difficult, and it's still going to take a long time to get that equipment, but it is obtainable for a free-to-play player. Currently, the way the game stands at the moment, free-to-play players have no way of getting enough Hellsbane ingots to actually successfully complete even one piece of Hellsbane armor, and that is not acceptable in my opinion. When the new weapon set comes out, I expect Honest Pass to do the same thing, where you don't get the 50 fragments anymore, you only get 36, or somewhere between 36 and 50, which means they are forcing you to purchase something in the game, which goes against the concept of having a game that is partially free to play, which they advertise. That is what one of the functions of the game is, that you can play it as a free to play as well as play it as a pay to win. Now, the timeline, eventually, yes, those ingots will become available in probably rallies and things like that. But the time from now until that becomes available is such a big gap, usually another month, for example, that by the time it comes around, the free-to-play players have been outcurved yet again. And that gap difference between free-to-play and pay-to-win is going to get even bigger. So, I'm not saying get rid of pay to win, because that is obviously the key element to the game, but I'm saying you should make that gap a little bit smaller and make it that new items are still available to free to play players. The second thing that I reckon needs to be adjusted in this game is that not all the events are able to be played by all players. Take, for example, Firelands. If you are sitting with a stronghold of less than, say, 30, statistics less than, say, 5,000, the Firelands is not worth it for you. You're going to be spending 100 gold to get into it, and you're not going to be able to achieve your rewards because everybody is just so big inside Firelands. If they adjusted it and they made it that all these events, like Firelands, worked in a similar way to the Dragon Arena, let me just show you here, the Royal Arena, sorry, that you have a ranking system, you will be able to participate in all events. Firelands, for example, could have a ranking system that says, until you are stronghold 30, for example, you'll be in one type of Firelands where everybody in that Firelands is lower than stronghold 30. Then you can have another one where it's 30 upwards, for example, or 30 to 40, and one for 40 upwards, or just simply straight down, make it just two up to 30, 30 and higher. You will then allow more people to participate in these events and actually succeed at something. About a month ago, I used to play Firelands, and I was doing all right. I could go in and I could get out almost the maximum size rewards, and I could have fun doing it. I don't do Firelands anymore, simply because it's a waste of that gold. No matter where I go into Firelands, I take over something, the 43s, 44s, 45s come in and they just take over everything. And again, they've earned the right to be the big shots in the game. But the development team is making it difficult once again for the smaller players to actually participate in the event. So events like Firelands needs to have some sort of ranking system to allow all players the opportunity to actually succeed in the event itself and want to participate. Because right now, I can tell you from my alliance alone, and we are sitting on 70 something players. Let's have a look quickly. We're sitting on 81 players in my alliance, and from that 81 players, at least 60 to 65 of them do not participate in events like Firelands because they do not find it worth their while. And if you have a look at my alliance, a lot of these players, majority of my players, are over stronghold level 30. So you can see there's 31, there's 36, there's 40, 31, 30. We've got a couple of 26s, 28s, 33, 32, 32. And a lot of these players don't even participate in these events simply because they have no chance of actually getting far enough that they enjoy it enough to participate. So that is the second thing that I feel should change. All these types of events need to have a way for players of all levels to be able to participate and actually come away with something at the end of the day. The third thing that I feel needs to happen is that the merger that happened needs to happen to all kingdoms. Now, I understand that it's not the easiest thing, according to the development team, to get the balance right and things like that, but here's a simple solution. Merge even and odd from 1 to 900. What does that mean? Kingdom 1 and 2 can merge together. Kingdom 3 and 4 merge together. 5 and 6 merge together. 7 and 8. All the way up to 900 and 901 merge together. You're going to be ensuring that the people on those kingdoms are usually on the same level, roughly. Somebody who's in Kingdom 1 and Kingdom 2, for example, have been playing the game so long that they should be on basically the same levels. People in Kingdom 900 and 901, for example, will be on the same levels approximately, that they can actually be competitive with each other. Every single kingdom, even the newer ones, have got a lot of dead castles because of things like making the game so expensive, making the curve so big between free to play and pay to win and things like that, making it that some of the events can't be participated in by the smaller players. By merging it, you're going to get rid of all those dead castles. You're going to get rid of all those castles that are farming accounts, because let's be honest, there are a ton of farming castles within the game for people who sell resources and things like that. The merger can be done actually quite simply, and it can be done that everybody gains the benefits of the merger at the end of the day. That's the third item. The fourth item that I think needs to change, and this one is a bugbear for a lot of people, is let us trade anything. If you think about it, this game is a game about mythology, not mythology, medieval. This is a medieval style game. You're sitting in a castle, you've got knights and you've got a king, and you go from one castle to another, you attack each other, you have allied castles which help you out in battles and send you resources and things like that, like it would be in a real life situation. So how come you can't send any item to another player? If you look at goods exchange, it is extremely limited to what it is you actually can send to other players. So if we go to goods exchange, let's just go to send request. Here we got steel that we can send. We got some gemstone, crystallized gems that we can send. We got basic emblems, which everybody can get for free so easily. I don't even know why this is still here. We've got emblem essence. We've got a few select heroes, not all the heroes, just a few select heroes and some hero horns. We've got some statue material, and we've got some artifact material. Okay, and very small quantities that make no real difference to anybody at the end of the day. I mean, even if you did this every single day for 30 days and you manage to get all 15 sent to you, you're still not going to have anything near anything to actually do anything with it. Now, if we go look at our inventory, we have got a ton of items, such as these ones here, that can no longer be utilized. Either make it that when you do the next event, for example, this Destiny Essence, as you can see, they're all called Destiny Essence, and they all have the exact same description. Use this to unlock Elena Gorlow's magic and turn cards at the mark of destiny. Either make it that the item stays the same, so if I've got extras, I can use it in the next event, or give us a way to give it to somebody who can utilize it, for example. I might, for example, have 2 of these left over from an event, but then somebody else in my alliance needs 2 more to spin the next set of cards. Let me send it to him. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to. Here we've got the Chinese knots. Here we've got the Christmas bells. Here we got snow flowers. Here we got weird candy. Here we got ripe corn. Here's some gift cards. Here's some honey jars. Here's some wishing bottles. You get the point? All these items are sitting here and I've got nothing that I can do with them. And it fills up my inventory space. And I got to scroll through all of this every single time. So going past all that absolute crap so that I can see what it is I've actually got in my inventory. Give us a way to pass it on. Allow us to pass it on. I want to give a teleport to a friend of mine. Let me do it. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to do it. If I want to send gold to somebody, let me do it. And I don't mean get an envelope and send one item at a time. That is really, really pointless. Tears of Ascension. Let me give it to somebody if I wanted to. These manuscripts. Let me give it to somebody. The ingots. If we come down to the ingots, now that we got the new Housebane set, you will see that you're going to start building up, if you haven't already, the other sets, your Destruction and your Empyrean. I got my Empyrean set fully sorted out and I don't need any more. But there are a lot of smaller players in my alliance who could really utilize those 30 Empyrean ingots. It's an ingot. It's a piece of metal. It's a little block. Why can't I put it in the hands of a cavalryman, send it to a castle across the way and deliver it, like it could in a real medieval scenario? Allow us a way to give on all of these items. And again, don't say, oh, buy an envelope and send one at a time, because that's not worth it at the end of the day. Allow us to just give it on, or put them all into the goods exchange and allow us to send a limited amount. Somebody can request, for example, 3 Empyrean ingots a day, 5 Empyrean ingots a day, or 3 Empyrean ingots, 5 Destruction ingots, for example. Especially now that the only way to get Destruction ingots is in the ceremony. A lot of people still haven't got Destruction. There are a lot of people that come to and join the game on a daily basis, and they've got to get to Destruction before they can use those Destruction to make equipment and upgrade those to Empyrean. Sure, they can get themselves Empyrean. They can get themselves 600 Empyrean ingots easily enough now, and then do what with it if they don't have Destruction? So allow us a way to actually give these items to other players. That's number 4. Number 5 links to it slightly, where it's on the same vein of these items that we've got in storage, but it is simply, if you can't or are not willing to allow us to give any item to another player, then give us a way to get rid of them and get something back. Every single item we've got here that is blocking up our inventory, we have earned. We have either killed monsters, or we have farmed for it, or we have participated in events and gotten it. Whatever the case might be, we have earned these parts and they are doing nothing for us. Allow us to trade these in for resources, for example. Trade in 250 snowflower for 250 times 1k food. Something like that. Let us get rid of these items. All of these items that are blocking up our inventory with nothing that we can do with them. That's number 5. Well, it's number 4 and number 5 combined. Number 6. If we go through to, wrong place, go through to New Center and we go look at the recommended. These strategy guides that have been created here are now so old and largely no longer even valid or kind of pointless or just really in desperate need of an update. New people come to the game all the time, and most of what they see here doesn't help it. They still have to ask players, but hang on a second. Like, take for example, Kingdom Threat. Okay, here in Kingdom Threat, you talk about what you feel would be a good march setup to go against the golem. This is actually incorrect. This is not the best march that you can do to go against the golem. Look at my calculator. Look at Revenge's calculator. Using these 1,000 infantry and 5,000 tier 9 siege distance and things like that, it actually doesn't help you as much as other formations do. If you got a crit of above 36%, doing the rainbow march like this is far worse for you than doing a crit march. These guides are so old and in desperate need of an update that new players and old players alike don't even bother coming to this section anymore. And you don't make it very clear, or the KOA development team don't make it very clear on how to play the game correctly, what you need to concentrate on, how to actually grow yourself effectively. It's left up to content creators such as myself to make videos and show people this is how you actually succeed at doing it. And since I've been doing the videos, I must admit there have been literally hundreds of people that have learned a lot more from my videos than any one of these articles has actually provided. So you need to, or the development team needs to really work on an updated system for getting those guides and those recommended articles out there that have got current and valid information. On top of that, if you go back, let's just go into here, into recommended again. Let's take, for example, equipment score. Okay. Now, this tells you what your score is. Hell's by number 852,841. Okay. Now, if we go down to Empyrean armor, Empyrean breastplate, there we go, 148,320. Okay, it's a very big difference. It's a huge difference. But nowhere does it explain to you that your Lord points, the one that you use for your shop events, for these upgrades, the reason why these points are here, your Lord points will be dropped by whatever your current equipment is and then increased by the new value. It just looks like if you've got this, that's how many more points you're going to get. And it confuses a lot of people. If you guys explained at the beginning of this, it's a simple paragraph that you could put in to say, this is how the points work. This is what's going to happen when you upgrade, so that people can understand how it actually works. On top of that, there are a lot of things that have come to the game that we do not have any articles for. For example, in one of the new shop event items is your hero upgrades. Okay, so taking a hero, increasing his star level gives you a certain number of points, or opening a new skill gives you a certain number of points. Leveling him up gives you no points. Leveling up his skill gives you no points. It's literally only your biggest guys that are appointed in your council, their upgrades in star type as well as skill openings gives you points. But how do we work out that points value? It's not a 1-to-1 ratio. If I give him another star, for example, and he increases his power by, let's say, 50,000, the points I get for that don't increase by 50,000. It's a totally different amount. So what is that amount? How is it worked out? There's no information on that. So a lot of people have to guess and thumbsuck, and they get it wrong, and they think they're doing one thing right, and then they're doing it wrong because, again, the development team have not come out with any information regarding what needs to happen to make it work for the players. These guides desperately need an update, and we need better information, clearer information. Number 7 is, again, tied into number 6, and that is the more information side of it, where anything new comes to the game. For example, we had Netherfall, and now we're back to having Netherwall, which is the old version of Netherfall. Now, since Netherwall was here and left, and Netherfall took over, there's been a ton of new players, thousands of new players. So now Netherfall disappears and comes back to Netherwall, and a lot of players go, "What's going on? What is this? It looks like the same. The rewards are different, but there's no communication." The development team seem to do something, but there's no real warning to anything happening. The calendar that you actually look at here, the only calendar that we can really see over here, doesn't give you anything. It doesn't tell you what's happening in the game. It only gives you a few basics, simple things. And then when you go to see, and you see Netherwall, for example, and you click on it, it's different to Netherfall, but nobody in there has explained to you what it is. The game does need more information. You need to be able to understand what's happening when it happens, or even before it happens, ideally. New things come up all the time, like these lake treasures, for example. They're constantly changing, constant new ones. We've got the skin, which has come back again, which is this, we can't see it right now, but it's this armored bear, which is an old skin. It's been here before. So a lot of new players have the opportunity to potentially get themselves that old skin, but nobody really knows how this works. Choose your rewards and spin the wheel to claim them. You can change your choice of rewards, spin the wheel more times to receive an even better reward. Okay, here's a question mark. After you purchase the Shining Pearl bundle, you can spend 10 Shining Pearls to spin for rewards. You can only claim the bonus chest rewards after spinning a certain amount of times. This chest can be claimed only claimed once. There are 4 empty slots in the wheel. Before you can spin the wheel, you need to fill the 4 slots with rewards. After the event finishes, unclaimed chest rewards will be sent to your mail. Now, if we go look at this here, and we look at each of these rewards, again, people don't know what, especially the newer players, they don't know what those items are or what they do. If you had updated information in your recommended section, in your news center, it'll make it a lot clearer for people. But that isn't the case. So 6 and 7 combined is going to be to update the information and give more information, both of which are sorely lacking and desperately needed. Right. The next item is Time Lord target levels. Okay. Now we've just finished another Time Lord event. It used to be the case that the first level, because when you look at a Time Lord event, there are multiple levels with multiple rewards. It used to be that the first level wasn't inclusive of the latest item. Wasn't exclusively inclusive of the latest item. What that means, for example, like the last one we just had was the gemstones, okay, which is these immortal gems that you see on the side over here, these green triangular gems and the green hexagonal gems and that. In the past, if you had enough of these sanguine gems, for example, you could still get level 1. That is not the case anymore. It has to be that you need these latest gems or the latest statues or the latest weapons. What does that mean at the end of the day? That means all free-to-play players and low-spend players can now no longer receive any rewards from Time Lord target events. It needs to go back to where it was. Give the first reward to the players, the free-to-play players as well, specifically the free-to-play players who have worked hard to get themselves the high enough gems to not necessarily even, for example, the sanguine gems, but a high enough level dream gem should, if you've got enough of them, allow you to get at least reward number 1. If you've got all sanguine, you can get reward number 2, for example. That pays your players, who is the majority of the base, for playing the game. Because the majority of the players are not the big spenders. They are the free-to-play, low to medium spend players. And they are being completely ignored and forgotten with a lot of the events and a lot of the things happening in this game. like timed Lord targets. Level 1 rewards need to be obtainable, or at least relatively obtainable, to the free-to-play players as well as the pay-to-win players. You've got 6 different reward levels, 10 different reward levels. Sure, make levels 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever the case might be, pay-to-win. Absolutely. But reward the players who aren't pay-to-win as well. Give them something in return for the effort that they have put into your game. That is point number 8. Point number 9, a better calendar system or better notification. Again, if we look at this here, this gives you very little information. It gives you your main events that happen constantly. You'll have your 1 or 2 new events that are currently happening. That will be appearing up here. But take, for example, the shop event. Now, a lot of people have worked out that the shop event comes the week after Alliance Hunt. Okay? But Alliance Hunt used to be, for a lot of kingdoms, it was the Ravager camps. Okay? Which is now gone as well, which we'll discuss now. But most people, and I would say probably 90% of the people, have not worked out for themselves that there is this virtual order to events happening in the game. And nobody in the development team, nobody in the game itself tells you what is coming. That I feel needs to change. If you go to event center, sure, have your event over here, have your what's currently happening over here, but then have another section over here, for example, where it shows you a bigger calendar of what to expect. Now, I understand that part of the problem is that you can't always guarantee that something's not going to happen to interfere with an event. But majority of your events can be pre-planned. Your shop events can be pre-planned. We just had another surprise shop event where it was the New Year's event, and then 2 weeks later was another event, and it was nobody expected it. Nobody was prepared for it. We need a better calendar system so that we can see and know what is coming out ahead of the event itself. That is point number 9. And point number 10, last and not the most important, but not the least important, is please bring back the events that have now disappeared. What I mean by that is I'm not saying bring back every single event. Obviously, there's not enough time, but make it that there is a lot more going on. For example, the Ravager camps. The Ravager camps got a lot of people busy. They made a lot of people do those rallies simply because they needed they wanted the Aurelius Pendragon fragments. Now, here's the Aurelius Pendragon, and I've managed to get 3 skills of his unlocked, and I got him to 1 star, and I'm sitting on 6 fragments of his for 2 months now. There have been no Ravager camps. I cannot do anything to improve this Aurelius Pendragon other than level him up and improve this one ability. Bring back the Ravager camps. Bring back the ability to get these Aurelius Pendragon fragments. Let us participate in more small events. Have it constantly going. At the moment, we've got this leprechaun. Okay, I need to update my BlueStacks version of the game. But we got the leprechaun event, which is one of the shittiest events that you can get in the game. It's not leprechaun per se, but it's how the leprechaun is run, which is you get these tokens, or you get whatever the item it is for the event by killing monsters and farming and things like that. So it's free, generally speaking, and you just feed these coins to the leprechaun or to the neon beast or Nithian beast, whatever it was. And the more you feed him, the more levels you unlock, for example. And you get some basic items out of it. And if you pay, you manage to get better items. If you pay $5, it's shitty because, number one, you're being forced to pay to get even semi-decent rewards. And the rewards are not the greatest. Let's be honest. They're actually not the greatest. But you have to pay to be able to participate and get anything worthwhile. One of the rewards is an envelope so that you can send an item to somebody else that you couldn't send through goods exchange, for example. But it's a single item. I don't want to send one Empyrean ingot to somebody. I want to send them the 30 extra ones that I've got. These rewards for these events are really, really shitty. Rather get rid of that. Bring back things like the the Ravager rallies, for example. Have them both at the same time, because I can do my Ravager rallies and get these coins, and I can use those coins to give it to the Leprechaun. Bring back the simple daily stuff as well that is now seemingly to have just disappeared. Make it so that we have constant stuff. At the moment, let's just have a quick look. At the moment, what have we got? We've got Excalibur Invasion, which has just ended, okay, which is heavily leaning towards people who spend money in the game, because it's going to be war, you're going to lose troops, you're going to need to make new troops and heal troops and things like that. So it's heavily geared towards spending players, okay? Royal Arena, this is basically your daily free combat sort of stuff, which it's nice. Don't get me wrong. I get to battle virtually other players, and I get to see how my stats do, and I get to see how I would do in a real battle against that player, for example. But again, there's nothing really to it. I can get the same effect from that by doing barbarian rallies. Sure, I get some rewards out of it. And let's have a look quickly. I get horns, hero horns, and I get war scrolls, which is great. More hero horns means potentially the chance to get more fragments of heroes that I can actually still star level up to get points during the shop event. Because if you, I don't know if you realize it or not, once you get your hero to all 6 skills, for example, and your whole council is appointed with heroes of all 6 skills, the only way to get points in the shop event is by leveling up their star level. So again, forcing you to spend more money to buy more fragments. Okay. Then we've got the portal monster. And if we have a look at okay, you can't see it now, but the rewards for the portal monster are really outdated. It's still water drake emblems and things like that, which you can get in other places. The rewards for doing the portal monster are actually not really that much, that a lot of people don't even bother with trying to do the portal monster or rocking up to do the portal monster, because it's boring and there's no point to it. So far, there's nothing that's actually been interesting, okay? Or that's worthwhile as a free-to-play player. Right, Golem is every Sunday, so that's fine. We've got to wait for the Golem. Your Firelands is going to be on the weekend again, same as always. You're spending gold, and if you're not a very big player or a spending player, you're not going to get anything out of it, so that's kind of pointless. Fallen Knight is so boring. Guys, come on, please. Change it. Mix it up. Do something different with it. It's literally, this is what Fallen Knight has become in 99% of the kingdoms you've got out there. Click to open the Fallen Knight and send a message to everybody saying Fallen Knight's there. That's the event. It's got to the point now where players don't even have to worry about keeping all their troops home anymore. They still send off 4, 5, 6 marches to go farming, because they've got enough troops that they don't have to worry about the Fallen Knight anymore. The Fallen Knight has become ultra boring. Change it up. Get rid of it. Do something with it, because Fallen Knight means nothing to players at all anymore. Okay. Then we have a look here. Let's see. Lake's Treasure. You get 1 free spin a day. Cool. It lasts for 5 days. So you might be lucky enough to get yourself some resources or one of the items that you are looking for. But odds are, if you're only doing your daily free spins, you're not going to really get anything majorly worthwhile. As you can see, I've actually got these dragon orbs, the flame orbs, on my wheel, because there's no way for me to get more dragon orbs for free in this game anymore. So I cannot level up my dragon further or evolve it further without getting these items here. Now, if you spend in the game and you purchase yourself these clam shells, or what do they call it? Let's see. Shining pearls. If you purchase these shining pearls, sure, you spend money, you purchase 10 of them, you get to spin once. Purchase money to get 45 of them, you get to spin 5 times. You don't even get to get the first level reward, which is, let's be honest, a shitty freaking reward for 4 sets of purchases for money you've spent in the game. So you got to spend money twice in order to actually get anything. So let's have a look here quickly. Let's go to see what the purchase price is. Okay, so it's $1 for 6 pearls. Okay, now I need to have 45 pearls. I've got to spend $9 to spend 5 times and still not even get the first reward. I've got to spend $20 to get myself 3,000 statue material and 5,000 troop speed up. Come on, guys. Improve this. Come on. This desperately needs an improvement. Majority of the people that I know don't even spend money on this anymore. They only use the free to spin thing. So once again, all the events that's currently happening are either paying, or not really good. Okay, Alliance Treasure Hunt. Now, Alliance Treasure Hunt, what I like about Alliance Treasure Hunt is that anybody can get the rewards even if they purchase a single $1 bundle. This I like. Okay, this has really good potential. Please update it a little bit. Make it that the rewards are slightly a bit better or more rewards towards what's new. For example, this Dindrain and Brutus, most people have either got it or they've got other ways of getting it, or they can get it from all those horns that they're going to be getting, for example. Change it up to be some of the new items. You know, just buy, like there's 5 fragments of Immortal Gem, for example. 5 fragments of Immortal Gem there, and here 5 fragments of Hellbane's armor, for example, or 10 fragments of Hellbane's armor, because to get to 600,000 is quite a bit of a job for an alliance. So update the rewards a little bit, but I actually like the Alliance Treasure Hunt. Personally, I wouldn't change anything there. So looking at what we got available in the game right now, there's not a single thing that's either worthwhile to do or is not going to potentially cost a crap ton of money for people to actually participate in and actually go for anything. So all these sorts of little things need to be adjusted and bring back the old events so that there is stuff constantly going that people and of all levels within the game can actually participate in and earn something in return. Right, so that's it, guys. That's my top 10. Just go through it again very quickly. Make the curve gap smaller between the free-to-play play-to-win, or make the items a little bit easier to obtain for the free-to-play players. Make events playable for all by putting in the ranking systems such as Firelands. That way all players can participate and have fun in the game. You can merge the even and the odd number of kingdoms. It'll be easy enough for you guys to manage, but at the same time it makes it that new fresh blood will constantly be coming through to the kingdoms, and that means your customer care service will have less people to deal with. And let's be honest, they don't get it right as it is at the moment. Too many kingdoms to deal with. You'd halve the number of kingdoms that you currently have. Number 4, let us trade anything. Allow us to get rid of the items that's in our inventory by giving it to people who need it. Number 5, if you can't do that, allow us a way to get rid of those items and exchange it for something else. Not dismiss it, not throw it away, but exchange it, because we have earned those items in the first place. And number 6, update your guides. They are sorely lacking in current information. They are very, very far behind. Number 7, provide more information. Make them more understandable. Make it that the game is more understandable and people who are new to the game can see what it is that they need to do without having to go to find a third-party source just to figure out how troop formation works properly, how heroes work properly, how the shop event works properly. Number 8, Time Lord targets and events like that must be accessible, first level rewards at least, to free-to-play players and low-spend players. Please, you are excluding too many players the way you are currently doing it. Number 9, a better calendar system so that we can be aware of things that are coming and plan ahead for it as an individual, as an alliance, as a kingdom. And number 10, bring back the old events and bring us more stuff to do daily that is worthwhile. Revamp your events. Get rid of stuff that is pointless and just droll. Like the portal monster is droll. Change it up. Mix it up. Bring something different to it. Change the rewards to it. The Fallen Knight. Do something to make Fallen Knight more than just a million red lines on your map attacking your castle, giving migraines to people. Please, guys. It's a simple top 10 list, and I don't think I've actually mentioned anything that is too outrageous there. But again, that is my top 10 list. If your top 10 or anything that I've mentioned you disagree with, or something you think should be added to this top 10 list, or what would make your top 10 list, please drop those comments down below. I will reply to every single one of them as soon as I can. Otherwise, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like on the button down below. And if you want to know when I do new videos or golem marches or information or new updates to the KOA Ultimate Document and things like that, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so that you can know whenever these videos go live. Otherwise, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. It was a bit lengthy, but I hope you managed to stick it through. If you did, drop the comment down below saying stuck it out, so I know who actually made it all the way through. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Until the next one, be good, be well, and be safe. Bye.